Today's Kwibuka Podcast describes the role of former Director General of ISAR Rubona, Ndereyehe Ntahontuye Charles, in the planning and implementation of the genocide against the Tutsi, who had taken refuge at the Agricultural Institute but were brutally attacked. April 26, 1994. Massacres perpetrated against the Tutsi in the former Butare, Kibuye, and Gitarama prefectures. Mugina Parish is located in Mbati Cell, Mugina Sector, Kamonyi District. During the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi, many Tutsis from Bugesera, Kigali City, Kigali, and from the communes which surrounded Mugina commune had taken refuge at Mugina Parish. They gathered in large numbers, and hence they thought they would defend themselves when the attacks came. Those who had taken refuge at Mugina Parish tried to fight the attacks with the support of Mugina Burgomestre called Ndagijimana Calixte, who did not support the killings of Tutsis. He agreed to pay selected Hutus, Tutsi youth, as well as police officers if they agreed to continue fighting the killers' attacks, which were coming from Mbati, Muchinga, Jenda, and elsewhere to attack Mugina Parish. The former Mugina Burgomestre, called Ndereyehe Ntahontuye alias Gitaro, held a meeting and ordered to cut off all the water pipes, saying that they cannot kill snakes without starving them. They locked all pathways using roadblocks and had many dogs around to hunt any Tutsi who would go to look for nourishment. Tutsi refugees were starved to death before they decided to slaughter their own cows. The attacks led by Ndereyehe and Kanyanzira persisted. Killers decided to kill Burgomestre Ndagijimana first. He was later killed in Ntongwe. Thereafter, they called upon Burundian refugees who lived in Nyagahama, Kinazi, to come and help them kill. About 14 trucks full of armed soldiers, Interahamwe and other killers from Kabugondo, Ngoma, Runda, and elsewhere arrived at the parish. From April 25, 1994, the killings started to intensify, but they exterminated them on April 26, 1994. Those who had fled to the parish were killed using various weapons, including guns, grenades, machetes, sharp sticks, stones, and many more, as people hunted for anyone surviving to finish them off. Some of the perpetrators included Major Karangwa Pierre Claver, Ndereyehe Onesphore, Kanyanzira, and others. Before the genocide, ISAR Rubona was located in Ruhasha commune. Many Tutsis who had worked at ISAR Rubona, those from Gikongoro, Maraba, Ruhasha, Rusatira, Mbazi, and Mugusa had taken refuge there, and they were gathered at Mount Rubona. Many of them were reverted from Mugusa commune while trying to cross to Burundi, and they were brought to ISAR Rubona. These Tutsis at Mount Rubona were killed by attacks from above-mentioned communes. The killers would come to look for Tutsis from their communes after finishing off those who were at Ruhasha, Mbazi, and Bjiza. On April 26, 1994, around 9 a.m., the attackers arrived yelling and whistling, and they joined gendarmes, soldiers, and police officers, and they killed Tutsis the whole day and night. On April 27, 1994, the former prefect of Butare, Sabimana Sylvain, came to ISAR to observe how the genocide was being carried out. On that day, the surviving Tutsis were taken to Gachera, below Mount Rubona, and they started constructing huts, toilets, and other facilities with the hope that the killings were over. However, on May 2, 1994, more attacks came and killed them all. Those who planned and implemented genocide against the Tutsi in ISAR Rubona were Ndereyehe Charles, the Director General of ISAR, Murindangabo Joseph, Rubona Chief of the Station, Mujemana Didas, the Staff Manager who was responsible for preparing the list of Tutsis of ISAR to be killed, Ntunda Jacques, Rutunga Venon, Mukurarinda Alois, Ndayizidye Elias Ajida, Musabyimana Tade, Nsengiyumva Innocent, who was also a teacher. They were helped by the notorious Interahamwe led by Ruhoryongo, Kanyeperu, Nyangezi, and others. It is not easy to say the precise number of Tutsis were killed at ISAR Rubona. However, around 70 ISAR Rubona staff and their families were among those who were killed. Some of the bodies of the Tutsis killed in ISAR Rubona have not yet been found to be buried in dignity. Only 120 are buried at the Genocide Memorial of Rubona. Ndereyehe Ntahontuye Charles played a key role in the massacres carried out at ISAR Rubona and is continuing the genocidal ideology where he lives in the Netherlands. Ndereyehe Ntahontuye is from Cyabingo commune in the former Ruhengeri prefecture. In 1992, along with other intellectual extremists including Nahimana Ferdinand, Dr. Rwamucyo Eugene, Dr. Nshimyumuremyi Jean, Berkimas, and others, Ndereyehe created and led a gang called Cercle des Républicains Progressistes that incited students to plan genocide at the universities in Nyakinama and Butare. At the beginning, Ndereyehe was an MRND member. However, in 1992, he abandoned MRND to participate in the creation of another Hutu extremist party called Coalition pour la Défense de la République, CDR, which participated massively in the genocide against the Tutsi in 1994. Ndereyehe started the genocide planning before he was sent to ISAR. Prior to his deployment at ISAR, he was in charge of the Agriculture and Livestock Development Project in Gikongoro, PDAG. At the time, he was one of the civil servants who formed Interahamwe militia in Gikongoro, along with Captain Sebuhura Faustin, who was the deputy commander of Gikongoro Gendarmerie. Sebuhura was from Mukingo commune in Ruhengeri, the same region as Ndereyehe. While forming Interahamwe group in Gikongoro, Ndereyehe was supported by leaders of agricultural projects in Gikongoro, especially Pierre Celestin Mutabaruka, who led Kret Zaire Nil project, leaders of Mata Tea Factory, Denis Kamodoka, and Kitabi Tea Factory, Juvenal Ndabarinze, various leaders in Gikongoro prefecture including Ayurugari Justin, chief of Electrogaz, and Selse Semigabo, a prosecutor. They have all been brought to justice. Ndereyehe left Rwanda in 1994 after the criminal government and their army were defeated in battle. While they were refugees in Zaire, on April 3, 1995, he participated in the creation of an extremist political and military group called RDR, founded on genocide ideology. Currently, he lives in the Netherlands and is one of the leaders of FDU Inkingi, a terrorist group founded on genocide ideology. In various FDU Inkingi statements, Ndereyehe strongly denies the genocide against the Tutsi, incites people to deny it, and undermines the commemoration of the genocide against the Tutsi by calling it a trade fund or a business. In the Netherlands, Ndereyehe coordinates Rwandan extremist groups which always advanced racist ideology that led Rwanda to the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi. Among the most extremist groups include FEDERMO, Fédération des Organisations Rwandaises aux Pays-Bas, CARP, Collectif des Associations Rwandais aux Pays-Bas, RIFDP-NL, Réseau International des Femmes pour la Démocratie et la Paix, DENHAAG, Progesistia, FFDR, Foundation for Freedom and Democracy in Rwanda. On November 5, 2008, Ndereyehe was sentenced to life imprisonment in absentia by Gikaramga Gacaca Court after he was found guilty of genocide crimes carried out at the National Institute for Agriculture and Livestock Research, ISAR. Since April 20, 2010, Rwandan Justice issued international arrest warrant for Ndereyehe. He is also on the list of the most wanted by Interpol. That, however, does not stop him from continuing his extremist propaganda activities in Europe and elsewhere. Birambo Sous-Prefecture was composed of the following three communes: Bwakira, Mwendo, and Kivumu. During the genocide against the Tutsi, it was governed by Sous-Prefet Rudakubana Anakli. Its headquarters were in Bwakira commune, led by Burugumestre Kabasha Tarsis. In Birambo, the genocide started a day after the death of the former president of Rwanda. Extremist Hutus and Interahamwe immediately started killing Tutsis, looting property and burning houses. Tutsis believed that they could find assistance at the Sous-Prefecture and at the parish. Hence, all Tutsis from the surrounding area started to seek refuge at Birambo Sous-Prefecture, at Birambo Catholic Parish, and at the nearest school of religious people. Although they thought they had found refuge, Interahamwe were plotting to kill them all. Two top executive notorious killers at the national level were from Birambo: Enoch Ruhigira and Edward Karemera. Enoch Ruhigira, who was the director of cabinet during Habyarimana's government, was born in Birambo, and he instructed the existing authorities how the genocide was to be carried out. Edward Karemera, the former first vice president of MRND, was from Mwendo commune. Karemera has been widely accused of inciting people to kill Tutsis in Birambo and in Bisesero. He started the preparation of the genocide in Birambo since 1993, as he and Prefet André Kajimbangabo, Colonel Jean-Marie Vianney Ndahimana, a CDR businessman called Amani Mugabo, and the Burugumestre Kabasha supplied firearms and set up military training programs for Interahamwe. On April 14, 1994, the Interahamwe led by Burugumestre Kabasha, Councillor of Nyabiranga Sector, Munyankindi Cyprien, Councillor of Musasa Sector, Mugabonake, MP Sebitabi Alphonse, and Prosecutor Kwizera Aaron attacked Tutsis who had taken refuge in a sister school called NP Birambo. Tutsis tried to defend themselves, but Interahamwe called upon soldiers and gendarmes for support and to kill the so-called enemy. They came back the next day on April 15, 1994, and killed all the Tutsis in NP Birambo and immediately setting the schools on fire in an attempt to destroy everyone who would be hiding. On April 16th and 17th, 1994, the attackers were also sent to kill Tutsis who had taken refuge at Birambo Parish and at the sous-prefecture. The cruelty of the killers was evident by how they separated all religious people seeking refuge at the parish based on their ethnicity. Tutsi nuns and priests were guarded by the gendarmes so that they would not disappear, and Hutus were kept separately. Afterwards, they searched for Tutsis who might still be hiding in the nearby surroundings, gathering them together and arranging a day to exterminate them all at once. On 26th April 1994, the attacks were led by Burugumestre Kabasha, Councillor of Nyabiranga Sector, Munyankindi Cyprien, Councillor of Musasa Mugabonake, MP Sebitabi Alphonse, and Prosecutor Kwizera Aaron, in collaboration with Interahamwe, gendarmes and soldiers who tortured and killed the rest of Birambo Tutsis. Among the priests killed were Father Ruberizesa Innocent and Father Sebatware Narcisse. It is estimated that more than 6,000 Tutsis were killed by these attacks. The killers were celebrated and rewarded with beers for a job that they had accomplished. Enoch Ruhigira fled in 1994 and is wanted by justice. Edouard Karemera was convicted of genocide crimes by the International Criminal Tribunal for Rwanda, ICTR, and sentenced to life in prison. He died in a Senegalese prison on 31st August 2020. Kigoma Commune was located in Butare Sector, Kabamba Tisel, in the former Gitarama Prefecture, currently Ruhango District, Ruhango Sector, Rugoga Cell, Bihome Village. During the genocide, some Tutsis fled to Kigoma Commune hoping to survive. Others were brought by authorities after falsely promising them that they will be protected. More than 475 Tutsis were killed at Kigoma Commune on April 26, 1994, and the days leading up to it. Those who were killed there had come from various sectors of Kigoma Commune, which included Gahombo, Mukingo, Kiruri, Ngwa, and elsewhere. After gathering them, they were killed at the roadblock opposite the commune, and their bodies were thrown in the pits excavated nearby the commune offices. Some of the perpetrators included the former Burugumestre Ugira Shebuja Celestin, soldiers who included Mugenzi, Mucherangoma, and another nicknamed Kagoma. There was also a notorious Interahamwe called Nzaramba, who called himself Cain or Gahini, who led the attacks. More than 20,000 Tutsis were killed at Tambwe Commune. The first Tutsi was killed in front of the flag, marking the launch of the killings and inciting Interahamwe and citizens to participate. Those who were killed had taken refuge at the commune, and others were brought there by authorities. Others had taken refuge at Ruhango Sous-Prefecture, Ruhango Church, and elsewhere. After killing them, their bodies were thrown in the papyrus forest, in the pits, and trenches. Some of the perpetrators were Burugumestre of Tambwe Commune, Mugaba Nathan, an MP born in Tambwe called Kayondo, President of Ruhango Primary Court called Munyeshyaka Gregoire, and a notorious Interahamwe called Nzaramba alias Gahini. Thank you for listening to another episode of Kwibuka Podcast. As always, make sure you leave us a review, sharing what you like about the podcast, and share with others who would be interested in listening.